Foundation, a hearty and cordial welcome to all the viewers and participants of the online training program on Microsoft Excel specially organized for all the students of class 12 belonging to all the streams and boards of the session 2020-21. This webinar for 2 days, 29th and 30th June, is an initiative taken by Management Institute of Durgapur in collaboration with Manisha International School in its constant endeavor to make intensive efforts focusing on continuous innovative educational methods that gives in future every student a distinct competitive advantage to face the challenges of increasingly demanding and globally competitive marketplace. In the world of global citizens and the ever growing competition, it gets imperative to be equipped with an education that has enough teeth to make you climb the ladder of success. We feel that our students, because of this world pandemic, have confined themselves within the narrow walls of their homelands and are going through physical torments and mental anxieties during this period. So, to illuminate their shrunken minds and expose them to wide vistas of learning, to inculcate their soft and professional skills, we would time and often organize webinars by excellent academicians, Galaxy of Excellencies, and trained professionals. So get ready to attend the training program by eminent speakers on 2 consecutive days, 29th and 30th June, for 2 hours from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. 29th June is to be conducted by respected Mr. Abhishek Chakrabarti, System and HR Manager Diatom. 30th June, the training is to be conducted by respected Professor Dr. Amitav Sarkar, Dean, Diatom. A digital certificate will be issued after completing the 2 days webinar. Now, it's time for us to inaugurate our program, and for this, I would request our respected Principal Sir of Diatom, Dr. Arindam Ray, to kindly take the lead with your informative and knowledgeable introductory speech.
Hello everybody, I hope you people are all well and fine. Today we are going to present a 2 days seminar on Microsoft Excel. So you people are just after completion your 10+2. Some of you might be knowing about these subjects, that is MS Excel, somewhat might not be. But today we'll be delivering a very interesting subjects, Microsoft Excel, with the different aspects about, because in day-to-day life, when you'll be coming to the higher studies, like after your 10+2, you will be joining to the different graduate courses, might be engineering courses, might be medical courses, or might be in other courses. So in everywhere, we need for that kind of computer operations, some kind of calculations, some kind of managing data and all. So for that one, we need that set of programming, some kind of programmings also. But here in all, everybody, we need that kind of softwares is rigorously used in our day-to-day life, in office, in school, college, and everywhere. So we are having a expert team members with us. They'll be giving you a introduction to a brief descriptions about that particular softwares. I really, from my sides, I'm very glad to know you or tell you that that kind of activities is a very rare, and we are doing this one very nicely, and our experts are really excited to deliver you. So enjoy this today's session and note all the informations whatever they will be experts will be sharing, and accordingly you implement this one, because until and unless you will be implementing, then there will be no use, right? So the 2 days program will be very much practical oriented, because they will be showing you the hands-on activities and day-to-day whatever we will be doing in our regular activities. So you use this one. My advice is to use this one and note down all the information properly, and end of the sessions you ask questions, because your question is very much welcome for us, because how much you know or any kind of doubt you interact with it. to the our respective professionals or respective experts. All right. Okay. So once again, thank you to all of you for attending this session. And now I'm handed over my session to Mr. Abhishek. He will take care of the next sessions.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's Excel training session. This is Abhishek Chakravarti, and today we will learn the fundamentals of Microsoft Excel. So, let's get started.
Let's start with the introduction. Excel is a spreadsheet program that allows you to store, organize, and analyze information. You can use it to create contact lists, budgets, invoices, and just about anything else you can imagine. When you open Excel, there's a good chance you will be taken to the start screen first. From here, you can access recent workbooks or create something new, either from scratch or from a template. In this example, we'll start with blank workbook. Next, you might want to take a minute to explore the interface and make sure you know your way around. Let's begin with the ribbon, which is the collection of tools and features at the top of the screen. The ribbon is divided into tabs like page layout, insert, and home. You can easily find what you're looking for. There are also commands on each tab that have been organized into groups. For example, if you look closer at the front group, you will find it has everything you need to work with text, including options like bold, italic, front color, and sizes. Some groups even have an arrow in the bottom right corner that you can click to view even more commands. If you feel like the ribbon is taking up too much space, you can always hide or minimize it. All you have to do is click the arrow in the upper right corner, then choose the option you want. Also, in the upper right corner is a place where you can access your Microsoft account. Here you can update your photo, manage your account settings, or switch to a different account altogether. You can even customize your copy of Excel to make certain commands more convenient. Take the Quick Access toolbar in the upper left corner. This area gives you access to frequently used commands like save, undo, no matter where you on the ribbon. To add more commands, just click the tiny arrow next to the toolbar and then choose the one you want. I'm going to add new and also quick print because I'm using both this command pretty much. In Excel 2016, you'll also find a new feature called Tell Me. It works like a search bar to help you quickly find tools or commands you want to use. Just type in what you want to do in your own word. The result will give you a few options and then guide you throughout the process as well as offering additional resources. Now let's take a look at the workbook itself, which is also sometimes referred to as a worksheet or spreadsheet. In this example, I have opened an order list that I am working on. Every worksheet contains cells, columns, and rows for entering data, plus the formula bar for working with your data. If you need to scroll up and down or even side to side, you can use the scroll bar here and here. In the bottom right corner, you will find several tools that let you change the way your worksheet is displayed. To zoom it or out, click and drag the zoom control. The number next to the slider will tell you what the zoom percentage is. You can also switch between different worksheet views using the 3 commands here. Normal is selected by default. The mode is great for every task like entering and editing data. Page layout show you what the worksheet will look like on the printed page. You can also add headers and footers here. Next is page breaker preview. Make it easy to change the location of a page breaks in your workbook. This can be especially useful if you are printing a lot of data. But last but not least, let's take a quick tour of the backstage view. You can get these by clicking the File tab. Just look for it on the far left of the ribbon. Here you can access all kind of information related to your current workbook and more. This includes commands like new, open, and save and print. All you have to do is click an item and it will open the right panel. This makes it easier to find what you're looking for and review your options all in one. That covered the basic of Excel 2016. Now that you are comfortable with the interface, including the backstage view, the ribbon, and the work, you're ready to start your first worksheet. Okay, let's see how to create and open workbooks. Most features in Microsoft Office, including Excel, are geared towards saving and sharing files online. This is done with the OneDrive, which is an online storage space for your documents and files, so you can access them even when you are away from your computer. If you want to use OneDrive, make sure you're logged into Excel with your Microsoft account. Whether or not you're using OneDrive, in Excel most new projects begin with the same way, with creating or opening a new blank worksheet. All you have to do is go to the backstage view and choose new. If you prefer to start from scratch, go ahead and click the thumbnail that say blank workbook, but you can also start with a template. You will find them in a very same place in the backstage view. Well, a template is a file that comes with its own design and sometimes even more complex formulas and formats. They make it easy to create professional looking workbooks without a lot of time and effort. You can browse the one you can see here, or you can search for something specific. If you see a template you like, just click to view or preview then click the Create button. Opening an existing workbook is also very easy. Again, you'll have to uh, go to the Backstage view, but this time click Open in the left pane. If the workbook you're looking for is something you have worked on recently, it might be listed under Recent Workbooks. In fact, you can pin certain workbooks here so you can always have access to your most frequent used files. All you have to do is move your cursor over the file and then click the push pin icon. To unpin it, click the icon again. You can pin as many workbooks as you want. If the file you're looking for hasn't been opened recently, just look to the other option. For example, under OneDrive, you can access files that are saved online to your OneDrive account. Under this PC, you can access files that are saved locally. Or you can click Browse, then select the workbook you want. When you're ready, click Open and the workbook will appear. Now you know how to create and open workbook in Excel. Now let's learn saving and sharing. Many features in Office, including Excel, are geared towards saving and sharing your files online. This is done through OneDrive, an online storage space for your documents and files that let you access them even when you're away from your computer. If you want to use OneDrive, make sure you're logged in to Excel with your Microsoft account. First, let's take a look at the regular save command on the quick access toolbar. Just click, and if it's a new workbook, you'll be taken to the Backstage view where you can choose where to save your file. For now, let's save it on our computer. Click the Browse button to choose a location for your workbook. Then enter a file name and click Save when you're done. Now you can save at any time by clicking the icon. If you want to save a different version, maybe in a different location or with a different file name, you can go to the Save As in the Backstage view and follow the same step again. You'll have to option of saving to OneDrive or to this PC. But if you are primarily save files to a computer, you may want to change the default settings so this PC is always selected to do so. Click option in the Backstage view. Then select Save in the left panel now. Check the box that reads Save to computer by default. When you're done, click OK. If you ever forget to save or if your computer crash while you're working, don't worry. The auto recovery feature saves a backup copy of your workbook automatically. To recover an unsaved file, all you have to do is reopen Excel and the Documents Recovery panel should appear on the left. Here you can access any recovered version of the file. By default, Excel autosave a backup copy every 10 minutes. So if you're working on something or less than 10 minutes, you may want to able to use this feature. You can also export your workbook into alternate files by clicking Export in the Backstage view. Exporting as a PDF is a good choice if you need to send a workbook to someone who doesn't have Excel. This format lets them view, not edit this workbook using a free program that anyone can download. Under Change File Type, you can access several other formats depending on what you need. For your example, if you are sharing with your Excel 2003 or either you'll need to send them an Excel 97 to 2003. Click button in the top right corner. Next, you have to upload your workbook to OpenDrive, so click on the option associated with your account. Once it's uploaded, you can email an invitation for others to view or edit the file. There are more ways to share the bottom of the windows, like attaching your workbook to an email or getting an shareable link. If you have an Office 365, you can use the autosave features. Once you uploaded your workbook to OpenDrive, whenever you make a change, it will automatically save your file. However, if you want to disable this feature, click the button in the top left corner. Keep in mind that if you deactivate autosave, you'll need to click the save button every time you want to save. With so many options, how you want to save and share your workbook is up to you. Whether it's exporting your file as a PDF or sharing your workbook online.
Management Institute of Durgapur is a premier management institute in West Bengal. The institute founded way back in 2003 in the sprawling green campus of Rahul Foundation at Durgapur. Students at MID start their day by analyzing the daily market. MID offers various professional courses in the field of management education. The West Bengal University of Technology. The highly qualified and dedicated full-time faculty members committed to the advancement of knowledge and guidance to the students in the attainment of academic goals. The faculty members, instead of adopting to the conventional methods, impart teaching in an absolutely different manner. MIT has emerged as a reliable education destination by dint of its state-of-art infrastructure and modern and fully air-conditioned classrooms, quality management, excellent academic ambience.
Now let's learn modifying columns, rows and cells. In Excel, every workbook is different. That means you may want to modify certain things like the size and the layout of your cell to better fit the data you're working with. This column has been resized, for example, but not quite enough. Most of the text is still getting cut off. I'm going to increase the width a little more by positioning my mouse over the line in the column heading, then clicking and dragging it to the right. Another option is to auto size the column. This will automatically adjust the width so it's fit the content of the cell exactly. Just double click the line instead of dragging. Now the column is perfectly sized to the text. Rows work the same way. You can adjust them manually or auto size them to fit the height. Sometimes it's useful to be able to resize all your cells at once. In this example, I like to make all my rows the exact same height. To do this, click the select all buttons in the top left corner. Then resize a row. It doesn't matter which one. Change will be applied to the entire worksheet. Next, I need to add another row to the list. I like to put it in between row 4 and row 5. To add a new row, all you have to do is select the row heading below where you want the new one to appear. Then click the insert command. This process is similar for inserting a new column. Just click the column heading to the right of where you want the new one to go. Click the insert command and a column will appear to the left. Deleting columns and row is just as easy. First, select the column or row you want to delete. Then, click the delete command. The column or row will be deleted, causing the other cells to move and fill in the gap automatically. Just remember that there is a difference between clearing and deleting cells, removing them from your worksheet. Clearing just remove the contents. You can also move a column or row to a different location. In this example, we'll move a column All you have to do is select the one you want, then click the cut command. Next, select the column to the right of where you want the column to be moved. Click the insert drop down menu on the ribbon, then choose insert cut cells. Another useful technique for rearranging data is the ability to hide certain columns or rows. For example, I don't really need to see these three right now. I rather focus on the customer's email address. If we right click then choose hide from the menu, the column temporarily disappear. To unhide them, select the column on either side of one of that are hidden, then click right again and choose unhide. Let's fast forward to the finished worksheet. Next, I'd like to take a look at wrapping text, which is one way of addressing cells that contain more text than they can actually display. For example, I like to resize my column of addresses to about half its current size, but still be able to see the content. We can do that using the wrap text command on the ribbon. As you can see, this displays the text on multiple lines. Now for the finishing touch, combining the cell in the top row so the title of my worksheet can be centered in single large cell. To do this, select the cell you want to merge, then click the merge and center command. There, that's perfect. To access more merge option, open the drop down menu here. You can merge across, creating merge row instead of a single line, a single large cell. If you have multiple cell selected, you can also merge without centering or splitting your cell up again. There is a downside to use the merge command. If you want to merge multiple cells, each containing data, merge will only keep the content of the upper left cell and discard everything else. So you should be careful when you're using this feature. The best way to learn about merging cell, wrapping text and working with column rows is to practice. So the next time you use Excel, look for way that you can customize.
The Rahul Foundation, established by Mr. R.N. Majumdar, an enlightened industrialist, is a registered trust committed to provide an education system which reflects quality, excellence, and innovation. Law College Durgapur, a unit of Rahul Foundation, is the first and oldest self-financed law college affiliated to the University of Bardwan, imparting 3-year LLB course, 5-year BA LLB honors course, 2-year Master in Social Work course, and since 2004 onwards, and is now also affiliated to the Kazi Nazrul University. Law College Durgapur has an enriched and responsible alumnus like professors, judges, law officers, prosecuting officers, and legal managers, attached with various departments, institutions, organizations throughout the country.
Now we will learn how to use find and replace option in Excel. In workbooks with a lot of data, when I'm looking for something, I sometimes have trouble finding a specific word or phrase that I know is there somewhere. The find feature can help by searching the workbook for you. Just click find and select on the ribbon. Then choose find and type the word or phrase you're looking for. When you're done, click find next in the dialog box. If the word or phrase is found, the cell contained it will be selected. At times you may find that you have made a mistake through your workbook, or you need to swap a certain word or phrase for another. For that you can use the replace feature instead. I actually need to change the name of the department from accounting to finance. To continue, go ahead and click replace and it will jump to the next instant automatically. If you want to skip the current instance without replacing it, click find next instead. Alternately, to replace every instance without having to review each one, click replace all and the entire workbook will be updated. When it comes to using replace all, it's important to remember that it could find matches you didn't anticipate it and might not actually want to change. Generally, you don't want to use replace all because it doesn't give you the option of skipping anything you don't want to change. So you should only use the option if you are absolutely sure that it won't replace anything. Now that you know how to use find and replace, you can put this time saving technique to work in your Excel spreadsheets. Okay, now we'll learn cell basics. Well, every worksheet contains thousands of cells where different columns and rows intersect. You'll need to know how to work with this cell in order to enter and edit data. Every cell has its own name based on its location, sometimes called a cell address. In this example, the cell I have selected is where the column D and row 6 intersect, making the cell address D6. The address also appears in the name box above the worksheet. To select a cell, just click it. You can even use the arrow key on your keyboard to navigate between instead of clicking with your mouse. To select more than one cell at a time, click and drag. The entire range will be highlighted. You can enter a lot of things into a cell. For example, all of mine contain text. They can contain advanced properties too, like formulas, functions, and formatting elements. For now, I just like to show you the basics. We'll start with inserting content into a cell. This person has just confirmed that she completed part 2 of the training. So I'm going to select cell F9 and then type an X. It appears in the cell and in the formula bar where you can also enter or edit data content of your cell. In fact, I'm going to take this opportunity to change the small x to a capital X. so it consists with the rest of the list. Now for the next person, Walter. Although it looked like I've made a mistake, is on the list twice, both here and here. I'm just going to clear the content of the extra row by selecting the cell, then clicking the clear command on the ribbon and choosing clear contents. You can also use backspace or delete on your keyboard. So let's take a look at what we did. It cleared the content of the cell, but the row is still here. That's okay. If you want to delete the cell altogether, all you have to do is click the delete command instead. That actually removes the cell from the worksheet, causing the cell underneath to shift up and fill the gap. Just remember that there's a difference between clearing and deleting cell, so you don't accidentally delete any cell that you want to keep. Now I'd like to show you a way to save time by copying and pasting content. For example, I need to mark the rest of the people who completed part 2 of the training. Start by clicking the cell you want, then click copy on the ribbon. You'll see a dash box that appears around the copied cell. Next, select the cell where you want to content to go to, like and paste. Next, select the cell where you want the content to go and then click paste. To access more paste option, open the drop down menu here. This command will come in handy if you're copying and pasting cells that contain formulas or advanced formatting. You can also get this command by right clicking in the worksheet. For example, to cut and paste, select your cell, then right click and choose cut. The original content will disappear as soon as you paste it in a new location. There's also the drag and drop technique for moving cell from one place to another. To drag and drop, start by selecting your cell, then place your cursor on an outside edge. So as you can see, it turns into a symbol like 4 arrows and a pointer. Now click hold and drag the cell wherever you want them to go and release your mouse, and the cell have moved to their new location. To mark the rest of the people you have completed part 3, I'm going to use one of my favorite techniques, filling in cell with the fill handle. You can fill vertically or horizontally by selecting the cell you want to use. Then clicking and dragging the square in the bottom right corner. The fill handle can also be used to continue a series. For example, number, dates, and other informations that listed in the sequential order. See what happened when I use this technique on my header row. It continues the series up to part 6. Now you know the basic include insert and delete, cut, copy and paste, and others. Time saving techniques. Everything you need to work with Excel, with cells in Excel. Now you know the basics including insert and delete, cut, copy, paste, and others time saving techniques. Everything you need to work with Excel. Now we will learn how we can work with multiple worksheets. So by default, when you create a new workbook in Excel, it contains one worksheet called sheet 1. Sometimes that's all you need, but if you want, you can create additional worksheets and even customize them, so you can store large amount of data all in same workbook. As you can see, I have already made some progress creating worksheets for each month in the year 2016. I still need one final sheet for the month of December. To quickly insert a new sheet, just click the new sheet button. Alternately, you can copy one of your existing worksheet. This will create a new worksheet and duplicate the content. Perfect for keeping track of your budget using the same table each month. All you have to do is right click the worksheet you want and then choose move or copy from the menu. Next, check the box that says create a copy and identify where you want the worksheet to go. I want mine to go to very end of this list. Click OK and a copy will appear with the same name as the original plus a version number. Remember, this is the worksheet I did it for the month of December, so I'm going to rename. When you're done, click anywhere outside the tab to deselect it or press enter on your keyboard. I'm also going to update the worksheet itself. Next, I like to review the rest of my worksheet and make sure everything is in order. It looks like some of them need to be moved. To do this, just drag and drop the worksheet tab into places. You can even color code your worksheet to make them easier to reference. Just click the tab, then go to the tab color. The color is less noticeable when the worksheet is selected. If you select another worksheet, you'll see the color the way it was intended. Finally, if you have worksheet you don't need anymore, you can easily remove it from your workbook. All you need to do is right click the tab, then choose delete. Now it looks like we are all set. When you have multiple worksheets, you can work with each one individually, or you can edit several at the same time. This can be useful if you are working with a lot of data that closely related. Let's take a look. For example, I'm planning to move in the month of September. My rent is going to go up, and I'm canceling my gym membership too. That means I need to update not only this worksheet but also the sheet for the rest of the year. We can edit them all at once just by grouping them. Start by selecting the first sheet you want to group, then press and hold Ctrl on your keyboard while you select the rest and release the Control key. You will be able to navigate and make changes to the data. Changes will appear on the worksheet in the groups. For example, if I change the rent to $775 in one worksheet, the rest of the group gets updated too. The same rule applied if I clear the row that contains my gym membership. To ungroup, just select right click one of the unsheet, then click ungroup sheets alternately. You can click any worksheet outside the group. Just be careful not to do that by accidentally. Worksheets are great option for storing a lot of data in the same workbook, and with the ability to group them, you can easily add or edit data anytime, whether you have hundreds of worksheets or just a few. Now let's see understanding number formats. You may have already noticed that Excel allow you to type just about anything into your worksheet along with text. You can use many different kind of numbers such as decimal, percentage, dollar, amount, rupees, dates, and more. To do this, Excel can use a feature called number format, and it's really important. Number format tell Excel exactly what type of data you're using. When you enter something into a cell, Excel try to apply the right number format automatically. For example, watch what happens when we enter a calendar date in this cell, such as 1/1/2015 for January 1st. If you look at the number format drop down menu on the home tab, you'll see this is now using the date number format. This tells Excel that we are using a calendar date and not another type of number. If you click the drop down menu, you'll see that there are several other number format to choose from. The general format at the top is a difficult number format for every cell is your spreadsheet. If Excel isn't able to guess what type of data you're using, it will usually just leave the general number applied to the cell. You know, in this example, I think I like to modify the number format to use the long date option instead. That way, it'll be easier to read in our spreadsheet. So when you select a cell, what number formatting, you'll see the actual value of that cell in the formula bar. So the long date number format hasn't changed. The actual date, it's only changed the way it's displayed. And number format doesn't just make our data easier to read. For example, since Excel understands that this is a calendar date, we can use the fill handle in the lower right corner of the cell to continue the series of date. So now we have January 2nd, January 3rd, and so on. Definitely a lot easier than entering each of these one by one. Unfortunately, Excel doesn't always understand what we are trying to type the same way that a person would. Because of this, Excel requires you to enter your, for example, watch what happened when we type January 1st in the cell. As you can see, the number format has not changed. This cell is still just using general format, and that means Excel doesn't understand what we wanted. It's also mean our fill handle isn't going to work correctly. Instead, it just copies the data from the first cell, which is not what we want. To fix this, we need to change this into something Excel can understand, such as 1/1/2015 or just January 1st without the ST. So you can see the Excel has applied a custom date format to this cell, and that's because it's understood that we wanted. And now, just like before, we can see the cell actual value in the formula bar, and we can even use this fill handle to continue this series of date. Let's take a look at another useful but potential confusing number format, percentage. Remember how we said before that certain data need to enter in a certain way? Well, when you type a number followed by the percentage sign and press enter, the percentage number format will be applied automatically to the cell. In this example, let's say that we're working with 8% sales tax rate. As you may remember from math class, percentage can also be written as decimal number. For this example, if I change the number format for this cell back to general, it will appear as 0.08, which is just another way of writing 8%. I point this out mainly because it's easier to make a mistake with percentage formatting if you are not being careful. For example, if you just type 8 into an empty cell, Excel will think that means 800%, which isn't even close to what we wanted. In our experience, and it's best just to include the percent sign whenever you're entering a percentage into Excel. That way there's much less risk of making a mistake like this. Okay, there's just one last thing we'd like to point out. Below the number format drop down menu, you'll see these small buttons with the left and right arrow. This command allows you to control how many decimal places are displayed in your cell. As example, let's say I'm working with currency value like $19.95. Now, as you can see, Excel applied currency format when we included that $sign in the cell. You can show more decimal place to increase precise, or show fewer to simplify your data, or even round to the nearest whole number. Just like before, we're not changing the actual value for this cell. As we can see in the formula bar, we're just making it easier to understand, easy to read in our spreadsheet. Now that you know how number formats work, take some time to ensure that you're using them correctly in your spreadsheet. So let's see how the formatting cells work. The look and feel of your workbook has a lot to do with the formatting choices you make. For example, let's add some formatting to this fitness chart that will make it easy to read and more visually appealing. We'll start by selecting the cell that contains fitness program chart and make the text bigger. In the front group on the home tab, locate the front size box. You can type in the exact point size you want or click the drop down arrow to select a size. You'll see a preview of the result as you go down the list. Maybe we can go a little bit bigger. Through increasing and decreasing are two other options for quickly changing the size of your text. All you have to do is click the command and there we go. To change the actual font, click the drop down arrow here, then make your way down the list. You'll get the live preview again. I think I'll go with this one. It's different but still very easy to read, which make it good choice for a title. So how about some color? To view your option, click the arrow next to the front color command. You can choose one of these themes colors here. If you don't see anything, you can go ahead and select more colors. This bright pink should look pretty good with the color scheme I have in mind. And then another way to make your text stand out is to use bold, italic and underlining. Bold should be good choice. In this example, now the text really stand out and it's much easier to read. I think I'm ready to add some formatting for the rest of the worksheet. At a glance, it's kind of hard to tell the header row from the rest of the chart because it just isn't very distinct. We can easily fix that by giving the header a unique fill color. All you have to do is open the menu, next the file color command, and dark gray should be a nice contrast to the pink we used earlier. Now I just need to change the color of the text to something lighter. You can also use cell styles to quickly apply different formatting in your workbook. Let's give it a try on the rest of the data here. When you're ready, select the cell style command and mouse over the style for a preview. Click the one you want. At this point, you'll probably notice adding a fill color to a cell range causes the line in between the cells to disappear. I like to change that by adding some cell border. So click the drop down arrow next to the border commands and you will find a lot of different options. For example, you can add a top and bottom border, a thick outside border, or even different line color and styles. For a border that goes all the way outside and in between the cell, choose all border. Okay. One last thing I like to show you is how to change the placement and alignment. All your text using the option in the alignment group. Okay. One last thing I like to show you is how to change the placement or alignment of your text using the option in the alignment group. In addition to the left, center and right text can be also be aligned to the bottom, medium or top of the cell. Aligning the text to the middle center should make this data look really nice. See a big difference formatting can make. Not only does my spreadsheet look better than it did before, it's also easier to review the data.
So now you know about the fundamentals of Microsoft Excel. In the next session, Professor Dr. Amitabh Sarkar will explain how to work with data in Microsoft Excel.
So, the plethora of knowledge shared by our dignitaries have strengthened you and also helped you all to broaden your spectrum of learning. An e-certificate will be given in the email ID of the registered students. Kindly collect the certificate, which will be highly beneficial to you in your coming days. You are also requested to positively fill up the feedback form, which is provided along with the certificate of participation. Kindly give your valuable suggestions and advice for further improvement. For further information or any other query, you can mail us or call us or directly go for the live chat. Our email ID and contact numbers are scrolled below. Kindly refer to them. Thank you. Stay safe, stay home, and take care. Unitedly, we all have to overcome the pandemic and make the world a beautiful place to live on. Take care.